lovers, it's Judy here at Stampin' with Crafty Klock, coming to you after like a little 2-week break. I'm so happy to be back, and I'm so excited to share some of the products from the new January to June mini catalog. So today we're going to be working with this really fun bundle. It's the Hello Ladybugs with the stamp set and the matching punch. And as soon as I saw this, I just thought it was absolutely adorable. I had to have it. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to do 2 cards. We're going to do a simple stamping card. And I kept this one really basic with just some stamping. If I were really doing this, I probably would have run this through an embossing folder and given that some texture to the background, like I would have probably run it through like this floral one, just to give it a little bit more texture. But because this is for the beginning stamper, I wanted to keep it really simple and really basic. So let's go ahead and get started on our first simple stamping card. So I'm going to start. I have a base of real red. It's 8.5 by 5.5. I'm going to just go ahead and give that a real good press with my bone folder. And then I want to add a little bit of interest to the inside. So I'm going to take a piece of our basic white. This is 4 by 5.25. And I'm going to take that large, I guess it's almost like a daisy image, the large daisy image. And we're going to stamp that partially on, partially off, which is why I have a piece of scrap paper on my Stampin' Pierce mat. And we're just going to stamp that in the lower corner. And that's just to give a little bit of interest to the inside of our card, because the majority of it will be blank. The inside will be blank, so you can write a note. And I'm going to make sure I get that center on the paper, because I want to go back and I'm going to stamp the center. I'm going to put in a little bit of our Daffodil Delight. There's a little tiny stamp in this set that is like the little center stamp. If I can find it. It's got like the little, just like the little center for that. And we're going to go ahead and stamp this in our Daffodil Delight. We're just going to put that right in there. Okay, there we go. So that's pretty much it for the inside. Now I'm going to wipe off my inky fingers, because I got ink all over them as usual. Now we're ready to go ahead and put this on the inside. And my Stampin' Seal has been giving me fits today, so I'm not even going to fight it. I'm just going to go ahead and use some of our liquid glue, because that's not giving me fits today. But our Stampin' Seal is, and I don't know why. It's chewing up all of my card stock. I don't know if I got a defective batch or what happened. Okay. So now we're ready to just go ahead and put this on the inside. And there you have it. Okay, that's the inside for our simple stamping card. Now again, we're going to come here with our piece of basic black. And like I said, if this were not a simple stamping card, I most definitely would have embossed this with one of our embossing folders to give it a little bit more texture and interest. But because we are keeping it simple with just stamps, inks, and paper, nothing else, we're just going to leave it plain. But I would, encourage you, if you're a little bit beyond the beginner, to go ahead and, give it a little bit more personality and emboss it or do something with it. Okay. Here we go. And we're just going to put that right on there. All right. And the basic black was 4 by 5.25. Now I have here a piece of our basic white. It's 2.5 by 5.25. And we're going to come back with our Stampin' Pierce mat. And we're going to stamp the ladybug body in our Memento black. So let's grab that out. Let me put this right up so you guys can see it. Oh my goodness, these things are so hard to open. All right, so I'm just going to ink this up really well. Okay, make sure I get enough ink on those dots so they come out looking black. And we're just going to put our little ladybug right there. Okay, not bad. Now, we're going to close that up because you know that I make a mess with my stuff. Now we're going to come back again with our real red. And we're going to stamp the red shell overlay. If I can find where I put the red shell overlay. There it is. Okay. I ran out of room on my blocks. I had to double up on some. Okay. So now we've got this one right here, and we're just going to line it up. And it lines up pretty well, I think. That looks good. Put that down. All right, not bad. A little teeny bit off near the head, but overall not bad for doing it freehand. If I had used my Stamparatus, I probably could have gotten a much better stamp. And then I'm going to come, and I just took that big leaf that was in there, and I did this in some soft sea foam. I very rarely use soft sea foam, but I didn't want a really dark green. I wanted something a little bit lighter, so I picked out the soft sea foam. Okay. I'm just going to stick that right there. And then I came back in with our Memento Black, and I just stamped our sentiment right over it in the Tuxedo Black. Okay, and this just says, "May your greatest wish come true." Okay. All right, then I just put this on there with some dimensionals, which I thought I saved. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and put these on, and I'm kind of running out, so we're going to end up using the ends of our dimensionals. Okay, I'm going to cut some of these off. Don't forget, the ends are just as good as the actual dimensionals. You can use it all works. So don't waste any of it. Okay, and we're just going to put this on our card. And there we have our simple stamping card. So we just use stamps, inks, and paper, and a little bit of a two-step stamping right there for the ladybug, but I just thought that was pretty cute. All right, now we're going to get a little bit more involved. We're going to do some punching. We're going to do some masking, and use our blending brushes to kind of get the color on there. So let's go ahead. Let's start. I have a piece of Just Jade. This is 11 by 4 1/4. This is scored at 5 1/2. Just changing it up a little bit today. And for the inside, again, I've got a piece of our basic white that is 4 by 5 1/4. And you saw those pretty little triple flowers there. We're going to stamp those in our pale papaya. Okay, and let me get our Stampin' Pierce mat back. So there's 1, and there's 2. And I just like to do them in opposite corners. It doesn't matter if you do top left, bottom right. You could do all 4. Again, these are your cards, so they should be whatever you want them to be. And again, I am just going to put on a little bit of our liquid glue. Okay. And here we go. The only thing I don't like about the liquid glue is that sometimes it gets all over my fingers, but so far we're doing okay. All right, now we've got this one. You do get a little bit of wiggle time. If it comes out a little bit crooked, you can straighten it out with the liquid glue. Okay, now to this, we're going to add a piece of our pale papaya. This is 4 by 5 1/4, but if you'll notice, I used a circle here. So here's a little trick. So because we're going to cover this whole piece with another piece on top, I'm just going to go ahead and punch my circle right out of this. I'm going to put that aside for later, because we're going to lay another piece of basic white right over that. I have to trim it after we do the blending brushes on it. But for now, it's not going to matter because that's not going to be seen. And this way, you're not really wasting your cardstock. So just a little tip there. So I hope everybody's getting ready for the holidays. I had a great craft fair this past weekend. It was at the Winchester Church of God. First time I've ever done that craft fair. It was really busy, and they must have had about, I don't know, 900 people come through in about the 5-hour span that we were there. Met some really nice people, sold a lot of both Stampin' Up! Projects and Norwex. So it was a good day overall, because I'm also a Norwex consultant. If you don't know what Norwex is, hit me up, I'll let you know. Okay, so now I want to do some masking, and I'm using, this is a new mask set. Again, it's coming out in the January to June catalog. It's called Butterflies and Flowers. And this is the one we're going to use, but we've got this one here, and this is like 2-step masking. So look at how pretty this is. I did this one on shimmery white. So first I used this the bigger one here, and I went over that with Pale Papaya, and then I came back over and I layered the other one over it, and I did that in, of course it's upside down, so now it's not going to make sense. I did that in Fresh Freesia. So, and there's another little flowered down there. So how pretty is that? So these are just some of the masks that you will get in the Flowers and Butterfly mask set. This is like a bunch of leaves. We've got more flowers. We've got some butterflies. So I think, you know, this is the first time I'm really tried these. I haven't tried them before. I don't know, I'm not really a fan of the paste. I just think it looks messy, but I do like using these for blending with our blending brushes. So here we've got a piece of our basic white, or I had a piece of our basic white that I was going to put on there. Here it is. So I'm going to put that on my Stamparatus. I'm going to lay this mask over it. Okay. I'm going to use my magnets to hold it in place. And then I'm going to take, I did Just Jade, and I'm going to take a blending brush, and I'm just going to kind of blend it just over that mask. Okay. And this is, and you could make it as light or as dark as you want. You can have it, you know, varying. You can go darker on the bottom and go lighter as you go towards the top. Again, it's whatever you want it to be. Ooh, see, that's what I was afraid of. I still have a little bit up here to do. Let me get up here. Okay. Because we still have to trim this just a bit. Okay. Oh no, my magnets got stuck together. And you'll see I went a little bit darker up top and a little bit lighter in the middle, but that's okay. Now I do have to trim this down because this is 4 by 5 1/4, and I want to trim that down to 3 3/4 by 5. So let me just pull in my trusty trimmer. I think I'm going to take it off of this one. We're going to go, let's see, 3 3/4 this way, and then we're going to go 5 this way. Okay, so we trimmed it down just a bit. Now we're ready to layer that over our card, if I can find where I put my card. And see how that covers up that hole that we punched? No one will ever know, unless, of course, they watch the video. All right, let's go ahead and get this layered up on there. And we're going to make a pretty little ladybug. Okay, got our glue on there. Okay. It's looking pretty good. Okay. Now remember, we have our little circle that we punched out. We're going to take those triple flowers again, and we're just going to kind of stamp them on here a few times. And again, we're going to be going off of the cardstock, so I want to put a piece of like just scrap paper underneath because I don't want it to get on my Stampin' Pierce mat. There's 1, there's 2, and then there's 3. I might want to just come in there, or maybe just come in there a little bit. Okay, that's it for our little floral circle. Now we're ready to go ahead and put this on. Again, I'm just going to add some glue. I need to refill my A little needle nose bottle. It's running out. I've been using it so much. Okay, we're just going to put that there. Now we're going to punch out our ladybug. This is so fun. So we're going to punch out the body just out of basic black. And I have here just a scrap of our basic black. Okay. Now I'm going to come and I'm going to punch out the wings. Again, just out of a scrap of our real red. So, you know, save your scraps. They always come in handy for something. Now, we've got, you gotta put the dots because the ladybug needs the dots on her wings, right? So we're going to come in here. There's a little stamp in here that looks just like the open wingspan. And we're just going to, a little bit more ink on there. I'm just going to lay it right there. Okay. Oh, perfect. How does that look? Pretty good, right? Okay, let's close this up. All right, now we're just going to, again, use some glue. Just going to put that right over our ladybug body. Okay, a little bit of glue, not too much. Put that right there. And again, we're going to pop him up, or her. I guess it's a her. Could be a him. I don't know. I'm going to pop our ladybug up with just some of our dimensionals, and I've got it stuck to my finger. Okay. There we go. Okay. Just going to kind of put him a little bit off center from that circle. And now we've got a little bit of, going to put a little saying on there. And this is going to be, you can bug me anytime. Get this on there. Let's see. Okay, put this up there. I'm going to stamp this again in our pale papaya, trying to keep everything within our color scheme. Okay. And I'm just going to take my paper clips and I'm just going to kind of cut that on a little bit of an angle. And I think I got it dirty. So I am going to redo that because I got some dirt on there. You can bug me anytime. Okay. Try that one more time. There we go. That looks better. Okay. And again, I am going to close this up first because you know I get ink all over my fingers. I'm just going to go ahead and put this on there with, again, some dimensionals, which is the side I want. That's the one I want. Okay. Now we're just going to put that right there and add this here. Now, to really give it some more bling, I've got our Opal Rounds, and we're going to add a couple of those right in some of the centers of these little flowers here, just to give it a little bit more, you know, I don't know, pizzazz, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. I'm gonna put it right in the center. Maybe one over here. Okay, maybe, I don't know. Let's go hog wild. Let's maybe put on 5 today. One there, and I don't know, where's the other one gonna go? I don't know, maybe, I don't know. Maybe there. No, that's too close. I don't know. Maybe we'll just leave on the 4. I don't know where I'm gonna put that other one. Okay, and that's it. That's our little dressed up card. We did our simple stamping card. Again, we just used stamps, inks, and paper in our new little Hello Ladybug stamp set. How cute is that? And then we stepped it up a bit and we used our new masks and we used our blending brushes to get the color on there. We did our punch, we added some gems, and we did that. So that's it. I hope that you are excited for the new January to June catalog. There's lots and lots of good items in there. This one being one of the ones that really caught my eye right from the get-go. All right, folks, that's it. I'll see you next week for another edition of Stamping with Crafty Klock. Thanks so much for tuning in. Bye.